Oh, shoot. None of my. I was gonna say, haha, we are live, but none of my stream information updated. Even though I already did all this morning. Hang on, just one moment. If there's anyone in the chats, then I won't know. But sorry about, the late start. I had a pretty bad scare happen. Hang on. Just want to make sure I get this all actually sorted out, so then I don't mislead anyone. First snow. This is the wrong. Wait, is it? Hang on, no, this picture was different on here earlier. I think there might be two. Yes, it is a different one. There we go. There are two first snows on there. Very odd. Anyways, yeah, now it's actually good to go. All right, let me pull up my stream really fast. Let's just go ahead and go like that. There we go. Okay. Now I'm just going to pull up the stream itself, separate from you guys, so then I can hear if the audio is okay. Just because if I pull it up twice, then it's just going to be echoing, which won't even really give me a good chance to see, like, oh, hey, is it going good? Hang on. Let me just sit here and talk. Ooh. No. We definitely need it louder. We need it just a little bit louder. It's really hard to, like, tell, like, how loud you need it. Hang on. I turned it up a lot. I turned it up. No, we need to turn it down a little bit more. It is really hard to tell. Just because, like, you think, like, because they go up, like, the way that oh gosh, my brain is all over the place. Hang on, just give me 1 second and then I can explain it. So, like, it shows you, like, the audio bars, okay? And, like, they're all, like, laid out exactly the same. Like, it'll be like, here's, like, 5 decibels, 10 decibels, 15 decibels, yada, yada, yada. You'd think that if something is at 20 decibels, then it would be just as loud as the other thing at 20 decibels. So, like, right now, my desktop audio is, like, going around, like, 20 decibels, and my voice is at around 20 decibels, so you'd think they'd be equally as loud as each other, which would make it a nightmare to listen to. But no, the music's still, like, decently, like, under my voice. You know what I mean? But, like, that's just how it works. So it's like, you think they'd be at the same volume level, but they're not. So I had to turn it down, like, lower than, so I had it originally, like, lower than that, around, like, negative 45 range, and I'm like, that's really quiet, but you know what, that makes sense. Like, it's like about half as loud as my voice, so then it could be like good background, like, music, you know, so I can actually, like, talk over it. But no, it super, like, didn't work for that. But yeah, no, anyways, the big scare that happened, hang on, let me pull the stream back up because I had to adjust everything in OBS for that. So basically what happened was, I was just about to start. Oh wait, what's this? We can change the themes? What does that mean? Fall, winter, nothing's changing. It'd probably change in there. I want to just keep it with the story. I don't know anything about it. Anyways, I'm too easily distracted. I distract myself so easily. Also, I'm, like, really annoyed with how I'm positioned on OBS. My brain is all over the place. Why did I open Audacity? Why did I say it like that? Right before I started recording, I let my dog out, okay? And I normally, like, don't like to, like, leave her out there just because it, like, stresses her out. I don't want to have to worry about, I don't want anyone else to have to worry about, like, letting her back in, yada yada. So I let her out around, like, 2:58, 2:57, something like that. And I was planning on just be like, okay, yeah, if I start, like, a minute or two late because I was letting my dog in, that's understandable, you know? I feel like everyone can get behind that. But for some reason, I mean, not for some reason, but a few minutes later, I was, like, looking outside. I just peeked out, and I just saw her walking along the fence line, back towards one of our gates. And I was like, okay, that's normally what she does. She normally walks down that way, and then she turns and makes her way back up the house to have her let me back in. To what the freak did I just say? To have me let her in. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, and I haven't streamed in a while, so I'm, like, out of practice. So she starts doing that. So she walks down along the fence to the gate. So I just go over to be ready to let her in because I'm like, I have nothing else to do. I'm literally just waiting to let her in so I can start streaming. So I opened the door after like a minute or two because I'm like, normally she like bark because she's like also very impatient. So as soon as she gets back, she normally is like immediately just yip, you know, just barking, just letting it loose the whole time. But she's not doing that. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I open the door and I peek out and she's like, I'm like, oh, she's not at the door yet. Okay, so I close the door, wait like another minute, open the door, she's still not there. So I take a peek outside and I'm like, I don't see her like anywhere. Also, I don't know what's up with my eyes. Very weird. I think there's something to do with streaming, I don't know. I'll explain that in a second too. So I go out, take a little peeks around, and I'm like, she's not back here. What's going on? And the weird part about this is it's like, it's been like super windy around me lately. But like, so one could argue like, oh, I'm saying the story so poorly. So I take a look around the entire backyard. She's gone. And I noticed like, no, all the gates are closed. There's no way she could have gone out because I have one that's a chain link fence, okay? Just a normal average chain link fence with a metal thing you have to slide up and slide down to like open and close it essentially. The other one is like this weird orange kind of, what's the best way to explain it? I don't know. It's sort of like a fake fence, if that makes sense. Like, we set up 2 metal bars, and we put some weird orange kind of like thing between them. It's kind of like a little rubbery, got a little bit of stretch in there. That's the best way I can think to explain it. So I'm like, there's no way she could have gotten out, because yeah, it's been windy recently, so I was like, maybe you could argue like, oh, the wind could have blown one of our gates open and then closed it again, so it didn't look suspicious at all. But one of our gates just doesn't open, and our other gate is a chain link fence that you have to, again, slide a metal thing up and then like open the gate and then close the gate and then slide the thing back down. So it's like, the wind isn't doing that. So I like start freaking out because I'm like, oh gosh, she's not here. Did someone like come take her, like call her over, open the gate, take her while we were out there, like while I was waiting? And I was like, that's so unlikely, because if she sees anyone, she just freaks out super bad, and like she would be barking, yapping nonstop. So it's just like, what? Where did she go? So I'm freaking out. I leave. I go into the front yard and I'm just like calling her out, like just like calling for her, looking around, and I start like going down the path that we normally go for walks, and then suddenly, after I'm like 2-3 minutes out from my house, I just hear something running up behind me. I turn around and she's just right there. She's just vibing. And like the other thing that weirded me out about this is like, she's the type of dog that if she gets out, she's a good girl. She'll just go and she'll either just wait at the front door, wait at the garage, or wait at the gate. If like, let's say I like left the gate open essentially, then she'll like just kind of hang out around there if I like left it open. You know, like she gets out through like the garage or something, then she'll just wait by the garage door or by like the front door or something like that, waiting to be let back in, because she's a good girl. So I was like saying that like, oh, someone has to have taken her if she's not here. She's literally never gone out before and then just booked it before, you know what I mean? But then there she was, and I was like, the whole time I was like looking for her, I was like looking everywhere up this street. So I'm like, there's nowhere for her to have been hiding from me. I don't know where she is. And then she just runs up behind me. And then, because she's also a good girl, she's like, oh, I need to go home. So she just walks with me back to the house. And so I'm just like, what the freak happened? So I go out there because I'm thinking like, maybe one of these metal bars is like a little weak, and like maybe she kind of like pushed it over a little bit and then it like straightened up back into place or something. I don't know. So I go out there and I like pull on these metal bars and I put like my weight into it, and they don't budge an inch. They don't budge at all. So I'm just sitting there like, how the freak did she get out? So I'm talking with my grandma, and she's just like, I don't know either. Because like neither of us can figure out how she could have gone out, because these metal bars aren't budging for her. She can't like, the orange thing that we have between the 2 metal bars doesn't have like enough give her to like squeeze under the bottom. Like they only lift up like an inch or 2. And it's like, it's way too tall for her to jump over. It's like 3 times her height. And then we have a metal chain link fence, and then there's no way she could go over it. It's like twice her height. And she's, not to be mean, but she's kind of a chubby dog. She's not athletic like that no more, you know? So it's like, I don't know how she got out. So it was a big scare. I was sitting there freaking out for like 10-15 minutes, like just going like, where the freak is my dog? Oh no, she can't be gone. So yeah, that's why I'm here now. But the other thing why my eyes being like a little weird is like a little annoying right now specifically is because I actually have a key light now. Here, let me try something really quick. Bonk, bonk. Let's see if that works. Let's see if that helps. Granted, I'm watching on Twitch, which is okay. That actually helped a decent bit. because I've been recording with this key life for a little while now, and normally like it works so good. It works so good. Like I haven't really had like any issues with my eye tracking or anything like that. But then as soon as I start streaming, it's like, we're gonna act up on you again. And it's like, okay, cool, thanks, man. So that's fun. That's a fun time. But yeah, no, after all this, we're finally here. We're finally back streaming. Been taking a little unexpected hiatus. Basically, I could talk about this so much. I realize how much I talk about this, but it's hard not to when it's been like 4 months of my life. By the time this is over, it'll have been like 4-ish months of my life. Is that the tendonitis flared back up really bad. Basically, we did my one Liayu stream. I think Liayu. I'm pronouncing it right in my head. I know I am, but it's a little hard out here, but that's fine. We did our one Genshin stream, and then after that, my hands decided, haha, we're gonna swell back up to like twice the size of normal and just put you in a ton of pain. So I was like, sick, cool, not gonna do anything for a long time. And like I was supposed to be like easing back into it, and I was, and then I guess I just pushed it too far one time, and that's been like the hardest part of like recovering from tendonitis, is that like, if you push it too far once, even for like a little bit, it like just destroys you. It like sets you back by like so much. So I was like full on like no for like the next like 2, 3, 4 weeks. Because I still need to like use my wrist to like get them back into like shape and stuff. So I decided like I'm literally just gonna log in, do my dailies in Genshin, and then do nothing else video game wise or wrist related for a while. So I've been slowly easing back into other things, since again obviously I took such a long break because I was like, I stream Genshin. Genshin is a video game that you have to play for longer than 10 minutes to make progress in it. I'm not gonna stream for like 10 minutes a day. That'd be really silly of me. So we didn't do that. So yeah, dude, I finished the Lantern Rite, and it was the worst stuff ever. I mean, like the event itself was great, but like the actual experience for like me playing it was awful. It was literally like, because I hadn't explored much of Liayu, so it was a lot of just me like, oh, today I'm gonna run to this teleport point, and then I'll stop playing for the day. And then the next day, I'll run to the next teleport point, because like it's like very much so spread out over this continent. Or over this country. So it was just me running and slowly making progress. Like I finished it with like an hour left before the event went away, and the event was up for like 17, 18 days, something like that. It was definitely an experience, but that's fine. But yeah, no, so like I was decided like, yeah, no, for the next little while, we're just gonna do some visual novels while my wrists recover. On my own, I'm gonna slowly start like building back up to being able to do stuff again without like overboarding it, essentially. Again, that's why I'm just not streaming, because I'm gonna basically do like this week, last week I've been doing like 5 minutes of a game a day, and then this week I've been doing like 10 minutes of a game a day, and then next week I'm gonna do around like 15 to 20 to see if it like you know, like I'm not gonna push it too far. I'm just gonna like test it. Like the millisecond I feel the slightest amount of discomfort while I'm playing a game, I gotta put stuff away. So yeah, that's my plan, is like slowly just incorporate stuff back in, and until then, we're just gonna read some visual novels. Up first we have First Snow, which I'm super excited for, because I love, so this wasn't made by Studio Lane, but it was published by them, and please be happy, the other visual novel I've read by Studio Lane is like genuinely one of my favorite stories like of all time. It is so good, it's so great. So I'm thinking like, if it's like published by them, like even if it doesn't like have like the same kind of vibe as them, it's probably just gonna be super duper good. So I'm really excited to get into this. And then outside of that, we also have next week, The Head Well Lost is a newer visual novel, and by newer, I mean it's literally not even out yet. It's coming out next week. And we're gonna start playing that. And it's also like, both these are like kind of on like the shorter side, like just a couple of hours long, which I don't mind at all. That to me, that just says like it's very quick, it's very concise, you know. Not saying like it's a longer story, it's like has fluff in it. That is, you know, I feel like that makes sense what I said there. I just feel like there's like less of a chance of there being any kind of fluff. And from like what I read of The Head Well Lost, because I did read the demo of it, it's like very well paced. I was really digging it, so I'm really excited to like get back into it. So we have that, and then I also plan to read the demo of Summer at the Edge of the Universe, the next Studio Lane project that isn't, I don't think it has a release date set yet, But as soon as it comes out, we're going to be reading it here again. So I was like, I want to read the demo. Because, again, love Please Be Happy. So I'm really wanting to try out, like, others, like, visual novels that they made. So I'm really super excited for it. And then after that, after we're done with, like, kind of, like, these 3 visual novels, depending on, like, how I'm feeling at the time, because, again, don't want to risk pushing it at all. I'm so over this. I don't want to risk setting myself back. Because, again, this has been, like, in like a week or two, it'll have been like 4 months of my life that I've been dealing with this, so I don't want to do anything to set it back at all. So we're not going to. So if after these 3 are done, First Snow, Summer at the Edge of the Universe, and The Head Well Lost, after those 3 things are done, if my hands still aren't like up to like playing a game at all for an extended period of time, then we're probably just gonna do another one. I have a couple other Studio Lane visual novels set up and ready to go, so we'll probably jump into those. But if they're feeling like decent enough, I plan to play some games that are like lighter on the wrist. The first one that I was looking at was Undertale, just because like it's a classic. I've never played Undertale, and like I know it's sort of like it's like sort of a turn-based RPG where it's like I think like I click, attack, special, yada yada yada, but then it's like a little bit more intensive on like the actual gameplay side, because like I think it goes into like this weird thing where you control a heart and you have to move the heart around. I've like seen maybe 3 minutes of gameplay of Undertale, so I'm really excited to get into it. I know like almost nothing about the story either. I just know that it's like beloved, one of like, I think it won Game of the Year it came out forever ago, so I'm really excited for it. But yeah, no, that's the plan, is like to slowly just incorporate like games that are lighter on the hands, because like even if like I have to like do a lot of moving around to avoid attacks, that's a lot easier on the hands than sitting there and just mashing in either Spider-Man or in Genshin. It's a lot easier on the hands. So yeah, that's the plan, is to play visual novels and then slowly incorporate games that are easier on the hands until I'm back to 100%. Oh, and speaking of like getting back up to 100% and stuff, I've like almost finished drawing a picture for the first time, and like I'm so sorry that this is taking so long to like get to, but it's fine. I like to talk. That's actually a huge lie. I hate talking. I just, mostly because of like how my brain works. I think if my brain works slightly differently, I'd like talking more, but I get distracted very easily. But in terms of like my hands getting back at all back up to full strength, I've like almost finished drawing a picture, which I've loved. It was the first picture I've drawn in like so long, because like I think the last time I drew a picture was like early December, and it's now early March. So like having almost finished a picture, like it's sort of like been like playing Genshin, where I'll log in for like 5 minutes, do a few things. For now, it's been like, oh, I'll sit down 10-15 minutes, and then I'll draw out like the vague outline, set up like the figure, and then a little bit later I'll like add a little bit more to the figure so I know what I'm doing, and then the day later I'll start on the line work, and then the day later I'll do a little bit more of the line work. And so I'm almost done with the line art after like over a full week of drawing. But at the same time I'm like, oh, well, okay, well, some people would look at that and be like, dude, you're taking so long. To me, I'm like, dude, I'm getting back to it. So I'm like really excited, like getting back to doing stuff. Like, dude, I've missed drawing and writing like so much. The only way I've been able to do any kind of writing is script writing, that I've been like trying to use like voice to text on my phone to do that, and I hate it. It's like so not fun, because like you guys listen to me talk, you know how my brain works. It's so not like cohesive to that. Like when I sit down and can like type it all out, it works so much better. But when I'm just sitting there like speaking like this, it comes out like this. That's just how my brain works. So it's a lot of, here, yeah, this thing is cool because blah 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 blah, and then I'll like stop for a second as I'll slowly like tangent off onto some other stupid thing that's unrelated, and then I'll have to go back to delete all that, and then I'll have to reread what I just wrote, because I'm like, did I like tangent like part of this too? Like, how is it like cohesive or like good to read at all? Who's to say? So like I'm so excited to get back into writing, especially since I found a page layout thing on Google Docs, because that's where I do all my writing. And I had my thing set to like, the default, and like the default is like really big. So I set it down to be like more of like a standard book size. I wish I had like custom options so you could like set it to be like whatever you wanted, but you can't. So I set it up to like be pretty close, like the kind of size book I want it to be, and it like expanded like how long my book was by like almost 30 pages, and it was pretty cool. I can't lie, it was pretty cool to be like, oh hey, I've written more than I thought I was, because again, this thing's huge. Like standard Google Doc stuff is like, I think the video that showed me how it works was like if you like were to print your just straight up Google Doc out as a book, it'd be like the size of like a composition notebook. So it just showed me that I've written more than I thought I had. I went from page 100 to page 124, so it was very cool. And I guess like one more sort of really quick thing to go over. Also, my eyes are just not working. Hang on, my key light, you are failing me. Oh, did that help? Did that help? Okay, cool. One more quick thing like that I would really want to talk about before we got into this was like the only thing I've been really able to do over the past like couple months has been to watch TV, and I'm just gonna straight up say it, not watching TV for like years is like the best decision you can make, because if anything like this happens, whether it's like, oh, you got like super sick or you got injured or whatever, it literally just leaves you with just like peak television to watch instead of like having to watch like anything that's like kind of mid. Like I went from watching, what did I do? I went from watching Arcane into like Scott Pilgrim into Cyberpunk into what else did I watch? Into Castlevania, and then I'm back into like doing a rewatch of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then I also watched Zom 100, and I was just like, it's just like binging all of these like it's just incredible shows, and I loved it. Because like again, I went like years without really sitting down to watch many shows. Like I'd finish like 2, maybe 3 a year at most. So I've watched more TV in the past like couple of months than I have in the past like couple of years combined. But it's all just been incredible shows. So I've like, it's one of those things like, when it's all you can do, you get like really bored of it really fast. But at the same time, once I like finished one of those shows, like after I finished like Cyberpunk, I just sat there and was like, gosh, that was incredible. I just had like one of those moments, like I just had a great time. It's just sort of like when you think about your day, like all that you've done, it's like, well, I finished work and then I watched TV for the past 4 hours, like it's not exactly the most exciting stuff in the world, but it does have its perks to it, like only watching great shows. But yeah, I think with that being said, I think I've yapped on long enough. Listen, you guys can tell that I haven't streamed in a while just because I have a lot of yapping to do. I have other things that I could yap about, but I think I'm ready to just go ahead and oh, what other thing? I'm really excited about this one. Shut up, don't judge me. I plan to upload this to my other channel where I do a lot of other visual novel stuff. And there's definitely going to be a little thing at the beginning like, hey, if you want to skip all the yapping, just skip to like 30 minutes into the stream. Into the video. Have fun. But I've been having to use these terrible Bluetooth headphones, and I think it's like my computer's fault. I just think like it just doesn't have like the best like Bluetooth devices, however that stuff works, like built into it. Also, my eyes are just not working today. Do I need to turn on my secondary light? Hang on. That's on. It's good whenever I'm looking at my second monitor where my stuff is not at, it's like fine. But then once I look back over here at like my camera, it's like, hey, no, we're gonna bug out now. I don't know why. Because again, whenever I try to record, it works just fine. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, I've been having to use these terrible Bluetooth headphones, and I think it's mostly my computer's fault, but regardless, I still don't like wearing the headphones, because like the padding on it, I don't know what's wrong with the padding, but like it really hurts like the top of my head to wear those for too long, and it's like constantly like buzzing out. So like if I'm ever playing like friends with like if I'm ever playing games with like my friends or other streamers or anything like that, it's just me constantly getting it, like the audio will just like cut out, and then it'll just cut out, and then it'll just cut out, and then it'll just cut out. Because it's just the Bluetooth on it just doesn't work so well, and I don't know why. So I tried for a while like figuring out like other ways that I can use my normal headphones, my normal wired headphones, And so it's like one of the strategies I thought it was like, well, I could just plug in my PlayStation controller, and then I could plug in my headphones to that, and then we'd be all good to go. That didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work. It just didn't work. For some reason, no audio would come out of it. But my computer just recently updated, and now it works. And now I can use my normal headphones, because it's not just like audio of like, the main reason I brought up with like audio of like other people was because like it'd be really annoying to like have someone sitting there like talking or explaining something to me, and then like their voice just cuts out for like 15 seconds. You know what I mean? Like that's stupid and annoying. So I really appreciate, but like I was gonna say, but it also causes issues of like, say like I'm listening to like a visual novel with like voice acting, and then they're talking and like putting on a great performance, and like I can tell it's about to get real good and juicy, and then my headphones cut out. Sucks. Or like playing video games, like whenever I would like stream Genshin, you guys don't get this from what like how I try to like treat it, but it'd be like, here's like 5 minutes of like normal audio, and then it's gonna cut out for the next 45 seconds, and then here's like 5 minutes of normal audio, and then it's gonna cut out for like the next minute. It's like actually terrible, but it was the only thing I could do while streaming, because I could try to use my speakers, but the only position I can put my speakers in that can reach my computer is right under my microphone. That is where they are at all times. So if I ever try to use my speakers while recording anything or being on like a voice call with anyone, it just echoes. And I don't want to put my friends through that or other people, and I don't want to put you guys through that, so we don't do that. But now I can use my actual real headphones and have good audio quality. It doesn't hurt the top of my head. No, it doesn't cut out at all, and we can all be happy. I'm so glad I refilled my water bottle right before starting this. Hang on. Is OBS capturing my mic? I mean, my mouse? No, it is not. Sick. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Also, I'm just checking in on the YouTube thingamabobber right now. Okay. Where's my phone at? I had the stream going on there because I was checking it. Hang on. Let me just check something super duper fast, and then we can get back into it. Okay, I mean, by get back into it, I mean, like, actually start the visual novel. Okay. Ooh, also, this is the first time I'm hearing the music because I've had my headphones off this whole time. Bad choice on my part, because this is a vibe. I really like this music. Okay. Alright. Also, I know nothing about this story. I read like a very, very quick like description of it on the Steam page when I was first downloading it, and it was like, yeah, a girl moves somewhere, and then plot happens. And I was like, okay, coolio. So yeah, no, let's just go